This is the most haunted place in Australia. At least that's what the locals say about Monte Cristo Homestead. And after hearing about all the spooky things that have happened here, I'm inclined to agree. Back in 1880, a wealthy sheep farmer by the name of Christopher Davis decided to build his dream house. He hired the best architect in the country and told him to design a mansion with 25 rooms. The only catch was he wanted it built on the site of an old silver mine, which was probably a bad idea. See, when the workers started excavating the land for the new house, they kept finding human bones. They even found a complete skeleton in one of the rooms they were digging. But Mr. Davis didn't care. He had the bones removed and the house was built on top of it anyway. Now, some people might see this as an act of vandalism, desecrating the graves of these poor souls who died in the mine. But before we judge Mr. Davis too harshly, we should consider the alternative. What if these miners hadn't died in the mine, but instead had been brutally murdered? You see, back in the 1800s, there were rumors that the miners weren't getting paid for their work. So one night they decided to go on strike. But when the owner of the mine found out, he brought in a group of armed mercenaries to keep working. And when those miners refused to listen, he had them killed. Their bodies were then dumped into the nearby river. Now, if that's true, then Mr. Davis's house really is built on a grave, quite literally. And it's possible that's why so many strange things have happened here over the years. For example, there have been reports of shadowy figures standing at the windows or shaking the beds of sleeping guests. And when the police came to investigate, they found that every room in the house was indeed occupied. Not only that, but objects would regularly go missing, only to be found days later in the same spot, covered in what appeared to be blood. And it's not just the ghosts of the murdered miners that are haunting this house. There's also the ghost of a little girl named Myrtle. She died in the house in 1912 after being locked in her room for 18 months. Her mother kept her locked up because she was an invalid, but she eventually became so weak that she crawled out of her window and fell to her death. And ever since then, people have reported seeing the ghost of Myrtle standing by that window, desperately trying to get out. So if you're anywhere near here, I strongly suggest you stay away from this house. After all, it's not worth risking your life to find out if the ghosts of Myrtle and her friends are real.